All right, everybody, get ready, cause today we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into the world of meme coins.
These cryptocurrencies, they're everywhere, making headlines left and right.
Yeah.
Huge gains 1 minute, massive crashes the next.
Right.
So we're going to break it all down, figure out what's really driving this market, and most importantly for you listening right now, what it all actually means for your own wallets.
Sounds good.
So is it just me, or are meme coins like the rebellious teenagers of the cryptocurrency world?
Oh, 100%.
Just tons of energy, totally unpredictable.
Absolutely.
And everybody and their grandma seems to have an opinion about them.
Yeah, you can't escape them. And, it's tempting to just write them off as all hype, all flash, no substance.
Yeah.
But there's actually more to it than that.
Oh, for sure.
You got to remember, this whole market, it thrives on sentiment, on community. These things play a huge EE role.
Absolutely. The community aspect is massive. But let's be real, we've seen some huge swings in the market recently. I mean, the article we're looking at mentioned the top meme coins took a 70% hit not too long ago.
Yeah, it was a rough week in meme land.
That's a serious drop. So how is it that even with a hit like that, they're still somehow managing to outperform the rest of the crypto market? How does that even make sense?
It's a really good question. And I think a lot of it comes down to perspective, right? And understanding just how volatile this whole thing is.
Yeah.
A 70% drop, that's definitely going to grab headlines and scare some folks. But you got to remember, even with a drop like that, a lot of these coins are still up thousands of percent, literally thousands from when they first launched.
Okay, so it's less about the drop and more about the ridiculously high starting point.
Kind of, yeah. Volatility is baked into meme coins. It's just part of their DNA.
So it's like riding a roller coaster blindfolded. Terrifying for sure, but you might just end up higher than you started.
Exactly. And speaking of roller coasters, we got to talk about PopCat.
Oh yeah, Poppycat, that was wild.
Talk about a wild ride. Over 10,000% increase this year alone.
10,000%. Seriously, I mean, that's just, I can barely even wrap my head around gains like that. Is that even sustainable? Like, how is that even legal?
It is legal, totally legal. But yeah, Poppycat's a perfect example, a textbook example, really, of how these meme coins, they can just explode out of nowhere.
Just go parabolic.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what makes this whole thing so exciting, but also incredibly risky.
Oh, absolutely. High risk, high reward, right?
You got it.
Yeah.
And PopCat is a great example of that. Huge potential upside, but obviously huge risks involved too.
Yeah, no kidding. This whole meme coin thing, it really is a wild ride. Okay, so we're talking about risks, and one name that keeps coming up is this pump.fun platform.
Yeah, pump.fun. It's something.
They're pumping out over 20,000 new tokens in a single day? A single day! That's insane!
It's absolutely wild. And yeah, it really highlights a couple things. One, just the incredible speed at which things move in this space. It's crazy fast-paced. And two, it's become so gamified, hasn't it?
Gamified is a good way to put it, for sure.
But all this leads to a pretty important question.
Okay, lay it on me. What's the big question?
Dilution.
Dilution. Okay, help me out here. What does that mean in this context?
So when you have this constant flood of new tokens, right, 20,000 in a day from just one platform, it creates a real problem for these projects.
What kind of problem?
It gets harder and harder, much harder, for any one project to really gain any traction. The article called it a dilution of attention and capital. It makes a lot of sense.
So it's like, okay, imagine you're a hilarious comedian,
Right.
but you're trying to stand out in a room jam-packed with thousands of other comedians all vying for attention.
Ouch, yeah. Tough room.
Even if you've got the best jokes, the funniest material in the world, it's going to be tough to be heard, to cut through all that noise, right?
Exactly. That's dilution in action.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for someone like me, someone who's listening to all this and is definitely intrigued by the whole meme coin thing, the potential's there, but I also don't want to get burned. How do I even begin to navigate this? Filter out the good from the bad when there's so much noise?
It's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a lot like trying to pick a cereal at the grocery store.
Okay.
You walk down the aisle, thousands of boxes, bright colors, fun mascots. It can be totally overwhelming.
Don't even get me started on cereal aisle decision fatigue.
Right. And often we end up going for the flashy packaging, the familiar characters, without even thinking about what's actually in the box.
It's the marketing, man. Gets us every time.
It really does.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the same thing can happen with meme coins.
So how do we avoid falling into that trap? Give me the secret sauce.
There's no magic bullet, but it all comes down to two things: research
Okay.
and risk management.
Makes sense.
Don't just jump into the latest trending meme coin because it's got a funny name or a cute dog on it. take some time. Do your homework.
What kind of homework are we talking about?
Well, first, try to understand the technology, if any, behind the token.
Right, because some of these are just memes, no actual utility.
Exactly. Look into the team, the community driving the project. Do they have a website? A white paper? What are their goals? Do they even have goals?
So many questions to ask.
And maybe most importantly, never ever invest more than you can afford to lose.
That's probably good advice for any investment, really.
Truth, meme coins. They're fun, they're exciting, but they come with real risks.
It's a bit like the Wild West out there in meme land, isn't it?
A little bit,
Yeah. Full of potential exciting opportunities, but also risky. So be smart, do your research, and don't bet the farm or your actual dog on any one meme coin.
Words to live by.
Now, the article we've been talking about, it focused mainly on the financial side of meme coins, which is obviously huge, but got me thinking, what about the cultural impact of all this? I mean, are meme coins actually changing how we view money, community, even humor? It's something to think about, isn't it?
Something to think about.